Hey everyone, as always, Dylan Miller Prospecting. Welcome to another Tuesday Night Gold Panning Fever, episode number 222. Where tonight we're going to be going through some flash in the pan Paydirt, and I'm about a minute late because I was texting John, the owner of Flash in the Pan Paydirt. He was asking me how much I paid for this bag, which, by the way, I just looked it up. I paid $167.48 for this bag. This was not a secret shopper purchase, or it might have been. This might have been a secret shopper purchase. I don't remember. But we're not going to be doing an ROI or anything like that on there. But I paid $167 for it, and it was guaranteed 1.33 grams. So gold spot is about 160 right now. So I paid $7.48 for that extra 0.33. So I should have an over 100% ROI. But again, not going to weigh it up or any of that stuff. Let me catch up on chat real quick. See who's here. Say hi to everybody. As chat scrolls by. Weezen, thanks for being here. Those left behind, thank you for being here. And thank you both for being mods, as well as any other mods I'll get to shortly. Richard McCarthy, how's it going? Thank you for joining the show. Appreciate it. Kristen, how are you? 91. Yeah, we're 20 degrees. Yesterday was like 10 degrees. Today is like 20. I think tomorrow's going to be like 50. And then it goes up to 80. It's just absolutely. And last week was 70s. Absolutely crazy. Last week we were in the high 70s, drop all the way down to 10 degrees over 3 days, and then back up into the 80s. Some crazy. World's going crazy. Richard Dow, how's it going? Outfitter, what's up, brother? I need to ask you, Outfitter, how to get the, because I know, doesn't Comingo give you a discount when you're buying stuff from Gold Bay? Because I was trying to find the code the other day because I wanted to buy something from Gold Bay, but I could not find the 10% discount. So, Kristen again, Whiskey Lover, how's it going, brother? Thank you for being here and being a mod. I appreciate it. Who else we got? Package Total, Casey Sering, David Hamilton, Michael Reed. There you go. MCD Prospecting, the other part of Kristen Reed. Gold Putts, how's it going? Yeah, this one has been sitting on my shelf. I mean, I know I bought it last year. I mean, I bought it a while ago. What was Gold Spot? Gold Spot, let me see what Gold Spot was when I purchased this. $127.62. So this has been on my shelf for a little bit. I can't remember when Gold Spot was 127. So David Hamilton, Aaron Mack, how's it going? How you been feeling, brother? Stephen LeBlanc, how's it going? Miss Independent, how are you? Thank you for joining the show. Adventure Prospecting, Dina Littlehale, thank you. Jeff, Bill Snodgrass, John Gear, thank you very much for joining the show. Mark Sheldon, thank you for being here. Annie Stevens, how did the show go? Or is it? Yeah, the show already went. How was the show? Bradley, how's it going? How you been doing? Jeff O'Reilly, Tomcat Josh, thank you for being here and being a mod. Jason G, how are you? How's the son doing without all the implements in his chest? Alan Curie, how are you? Ayod, how are you? Thank you. Refotris, how's it going? Awesome, Whiskey, awesome. Heavy Meadow Detective, how's it going? Been a little bit. How you been doing? Run Barbecue, how's it going? Much better. That's awesome, Aaron. So I think that's everybody. If I missed anybody in chat again, don't worry. I'm sure I will see you at some point and say hi to you. If not, just say, hey, you didn't give me a shout out or something like that. So, and I will get to you. Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome. Glad to hear that. Glad to hear that. Next year, hopefully, I'll be able to go to a lot more shows. My son will be 18. He'll be driving. I'll have a lot more. I won't be so dependent on having to bring him to school and, bring him to work and all that stuff. So it'll be a lot easier for me to get around and get stuff done. But all right, let's pop out chat. There we go. Move it over to here. Live chat. There we go. Yeah, so today's not going to be too long of a show. It's a relatively easy bag of Paydirt that John puts out. It's usually chunkier gold. That's what his little niche is in the Paydirt community. Is he sells bigger sized bags and chunkier gold. Chunkier the more you spend too. So it shouldn't take too long. If it goes too quick though, I've been wanting to pan out this little tube I got from Vendetta. So if it takes too long, I might pan this out as well. Yeah, we'll have to see. I'll put it over here just in case. All right, hold on. Everybody's texting me now. Let me see. Trying to get John to pop in, but we'll see. There we go. So where we go. Imagination to Form. How's it going? Who else we got? Catch Me in the AM. How's it going? Thank you for joining the show. Hopefully everyone's doing well. Hopefully everyone's getting some good gold. Gold's been pretty stagnant, really stagnant for about last week. I mean, it's slowly going down, but it'll get a big jump up, then go down incrementally. So it's been staying right around 160 a gram. You received your dime. Awesome. That's awesome. Good to hear. Good to see here. I don't remember what year you got. I don't remember which year I sent you. So I have a stack of them, and I just grabbed one out of them. So the only thing I always try to make sure is there's no 1968s because I keep those. So first bag I ever got as a prize on your show is 1.3 gram more, like 1.79. Yeah, I mean, I like flashing the Paydirt, and like I've said before, it's one of the problems with doing Paydirt reviews and gold being so expensive. Is it's really hard to revisit older sellers. There's a lot of sellers that, once I review them, it might be a year or 2 years before I get to them again. And especially since there's only a few sellers that sell really big bags of Paydirt. And that's one of the things I look for when I do my live shows is I look for two things. On the shows where I have my son, like tonight where it's going to be a short show, I look for quick bags that, won't take much time. And then on the other days, I look for big bags. So I'm going to have to be a little bit more, I don't know, I'm going to have to figure out a better way so I can revisit older sellers or sellers that I haven't reviewed in a while on these live shows. Because usually when I do a review, so like if I do a review on a Monday, I try to also review that person on a Tuesday. So then that just less opportunities for me to do it. So I'm going to have to figure something out because I really do miss panning out a lot of sellers repeatedly, that I just haven't got to in a while. Like I did a review on Bobby Nugget, and I kind of, even though I didn't give him a very good review, I liked his Paydirt. I think he's made some huge strides since then. And I just haven't had a chance to do him. Brian Thomas, it's been forever since I've panned him out. Flash in the pan. I think I did his review probably 3.5 years ago. So, it's been a long time. So I need to figure out a way to pan out sellers more often. I know I tend to stick with my favorites. I tend to pan out a lot of gold nugget sales and a lot of Vendetta. There's a lot of Vendetta on my shelf. Vendetta is probably my personal favorite Paydirt, even though gold nugget sales is probably my personal favorite Paydirt seller. So, speaking of gold nugget sales too, I did say he's doing a giveaway. I haven't watched that video yet. I did not get a notification that he put out a new video, but I did see he's giving away something that I'm not going to win. So everyone else might have a chance to win, but I won't. Mr. Meanleaf, how's it going? HD, thank you for being here and being a mod. I appreciate it. Real Mr. Hogan, how's it going? Thank you for joining the show. Appreciate it. Oh, you found it already. All right. I tried to hide him a little bit. I tried to make it a little bit sneaky, but I'll have to... I don't have very much real estate behind me. I have been thinking I might move my camera further back because I need to make a little bit more room in my studio. And just where it's at currently, I can't move my computer farther back because it hits the camera. So I might move the camera back, and it might give me another 6 inches on either side of here for y'all to view. So I'll have another square footage to get it. So No, I emailed you back, Mr. Hogan. No, it shows that my package to you is coming Wednesday or Thursday, and your package to me is coming Wednesday or Thursday as well. So looks like the Travelocity gnome has got them, and they're just like taking a loop around. So spring break next week. There you go, brother. It shouldn't be too hot, huh? It's only going to be in the 90s. That's not too hot, brother. Wait till it hits the hundreds then, you know. So 6-year-old Paydirt, those are the good ones. You know you got some good ROIs on that. There's nothing to make a Paydirt a better ROI than sit on it for a long time. So, no. Yeah, I know. I don't think. I think the oldest. I don't even know what the oldest one on my shelf is. Huh. I mean, I haven't been putting stuff on my shelf for too long. I think the Tommy Knockers might be a really good ROI. I mean, obviously the Lynch Minings are going to be good ROIs, but I did overpay for those, because I bought them secondhand. But yeah, nothing on my shelf is 6 years old, not yet. So, I mean, I got some good ones up there because I have some up there that were donated. So, yeah, those are 100% ROIs. Tomorrow you turn a different age. Well, happy birthday for tomorrow then, brother. Alpine prospecting, how's it going? No worries, brother. Stay at it and just be here next Tuesday, and you can always watch it online. So, but hopefully everyone's finding, like I said, hopefully everyone's finding some good gold. I know there's some new sellers out there. I just found another 2 new sellers the other day. I mean, we just had Gold Putts open. We just had Lucky Strike Paydirt just open. And I found Motherlode Prospecting just opened. And now I found 2 other ones. So, which is really surprising me because I really thought Gold Spot being in the $160 range per gram is going to make it really difficult for people to you've never seen my cat, have you? My cat is my security system, so that, and I'm disabled, so I stay at home. So I'm my own security guard. you know. But yeah, so I was really thinking that there would be less Paydirt sellers because I mean last year a lot closed. I mean last year we had a lot of sellers close up. I think I have like a list of like 8 Paydirt sellers that closed last year that just went defunct. Ferryman closed up and a few others. Big Time closed. There was just a couple. Like I said, there was about 8 sellers that closed last year that just haven't reopened. Culver left last year. I mean, I know he sells every once in a while through Patreon, but I was really surprised because it's really hard, and especially with gold being so erratic, you just don't know if you buy, an ounce of gold at $5K and you sell it all and then gold drops to 4,500, you just lost $500 and you can't really overcharge your Paydirt because then no one will buy it. So, might be a new Paydirt to get in the gold vlog vid. Oh, really? I'll have to look at that. I mean, I know he's going to be, I have to email Mike. I've talked to Mike a few times, and there's a couple. Like he has a candy jar Paydirt that's supposed to have been coming out for what, like 2.5 years now, Ed. And then Christmas in July is almost here, so I don't know if he's going to be redoing the Christmas in July Paydirt he usually does. So I'll have to look and see what he's got coming out. But yeah, and that's one of the problems too, is you get all these sellers, like they're all opening at the same time. I don't know why. So now I always want to rush and review them. But I only have so much time, so I'll have to go check it out for sure. But again, I'm really surprised. So many new sellers. I'll be really curious to see how many of them last. I've talked to Putts a few times, and I've talked to the owner of Lucky Strike a few times. So, and they seem to have good ways of finding gold. I think that's the key. If you have a good source for gold, that's key. Like Gold Baron, he has a good source for gold. A lot of the other ones that closed, I know were kind of just buying gold from where I would buy gold from, or you would buy gold from. They're going to, they're going to gold nugget sales and buying bulk gold at spot, and it's a little hard to make money when you're buying at spot and somebody else is buying gold at 85%. So TM, how's it going? Thank you for joining the show. Midwest Gold Fever. How's it going? Thank you for joining the show. Appreciate it. John, thank you for joining the show. Lanningham. There you go. Hopefully I didn't butcher that, but thank you for joining the show, Lamb. So, but it's good. The more Paydirt sellers we have, the more competition we have, the better. It makes good Paydirts better, and it puts out more word that there's good Paydirt sellers and not as many bad ones. So it's hard to make money when you buy 85%. Yeah, I mean, buying Paydirt is not. I was talking to somebody about it the other day. Paydirt is not something you can do as a full-time job. I mean, it really isn't. I mean, if you look at the big sellers, Vendetta, Gold Nugget Sales, Gold Bay, Brian Thomas Gold, Gold Baron, this isn't their first full-time job. And I think that, unfortunately, a lot of people do think that, where they're like, oh, man, look at these people. A lot of people see, some guy's paying $200 for a bag of Paydirt, and they think, oh, man, I'm going to make so much money off these people. So then they go and they get, gold and bags and all this other stuff. Then they, you think you're making money. Like, even if you sold, like right now, even if you were selling Paydirt, for $200 shipped, you minus $10 for shipping and fees and, or the bags and all this other stuff and your time, your gas, so you're like, okay, well, now I'm at 190. I still made $30, but no, then the IRS is going to hit you up for $15 of that. So you only made $15, and it's hard to say in business when, $15, that means a bag an hour for a good pay, and you're not going to make that. So, it's just, like I said, it's a good hobby. Like, if you're already, like for me, if somebody, like if you're already panning and you're already doing stuff and you're already collecting gold and buying gold and loving gold, then it's not a bad hobby. You get home from work and you say, okay, I'm going to sit around, putt around with some dirt, make some bags of Paydirt. And, tomorrow morning on my way to work, I'll drop them off at the Paydirt, off at the post office. That's not bad. I mean, it's not bad. Then, at the end of the week, you say, okay, I made an extra $100, extra $200 that, let you buy more gold for your collection. So, Greg R., how's it going? Thank you for joining the show. Appreciate it. We're in the wild. How's it going? So, but yeah, it's a good, like, part-time thing to do, a little hustle, on the side to make you some extra money. But, it's still work. It's still a job. And a lot of people, I think, get into it thinking that, it'll be easy peasy, and it's really not. So, and it's, or they'll, they either think it's easy, and it's not. I make Paydirt every month for my Patreon members, and making Paydirt is not like super easy. You got to be meticulous. You can't just like, well, I added a little bit too much to that, because that's your bottom line, So, but we'll have to see. Hopefully all these new ones pan out and stick around for a while. I mean, the last couple of good ones have stuck around. I mean, I know Motherlode's already out of stock, but Gold Baron's been around for a while since he opened, Nice tag. I take depreciation of my gold. Yeah. I mean, we were talking about it. I was talking to Ed, and I think we were talking about it last week as well. I mean, there used to be a Paydirt seller, and this was when gold was still at like 50, I want to say maybe $60. I think gold was still at like $60. They had a Paydirt seller that was buying Mike from the Gold Nugget Sales. He was buying his, it was a girl. She was buying his 10 for 11 bags. And at that time, the 10 for 11 included a 1 gram nugget. I don't believe it included a 2 gram nugget. It was a 1 gram nugget. And so she would buy the 10 for 11 because she had money to front it up. And then she'd get the 10 grams and sell it for, I think, so gold spot was like $60. She would sell it for like $72. And that would pay for the shipping, the bags, the fees, and all that. And she would break even. So when it came to tax time, she took, she would sell out, buy $720, and she would take in $720. And it was an even squash. She didn't make a single penny. But every 10 bags she sold, she got a 1 gram nugget added to her collection. So it was a pretty smart little thing, because you take in X amount, you sell X amount. You make zero profit. It was a zero profit business, but by the time she left, she probably had 3 or 4 ounces worth of nuggets, you know, that had a nice little premium. And then later in life, you know, you can unload those. So we have stock orders, pause to catch up on personal things. There you go. So aren't you doing somebody told me you're doing a new one in a red can or a black can. You have to send me some pictures of those. And I don't think I replied to your email either, Nico. I'll have to look at that. I've been being behind on my emails. I'm behind on life. I've always been behind on life, and I can't ever seem to catch up. Something new always pops up. You know, I am getting married in a couple months, and we're having to get a lot of stuff together to figure that out. You know, not only the church and invites and things like that, but just commingling 2 lives, bills, and figuring out furniture, what we're going to do with houses and stuff like that. So, and right now, you know, I spend half my time here, half my time at her house. You know, it's just getting, I'm going to have to figure out a way to start moving my laptop around so I can get stuff done at other places too. So Gold Putz is a really good seller. I like Gold Putz. My only criticism, you know, like, and it's not even a criticism, is his website's a little messy. That's about it. But I don't think that matters. If you got a good deal, you got a good deal. So, you know, if you can look at my shelf, you can tend to see that I tend to appreciate and like sellers who have really nice bags and stuff like that. And the only one is still, but it doesn't really matter because Vendetta, like I said earlier in the show, I have tons of Vendetta around here, and he just has silver bags with a little label on it, you know. So his website just does drive me a little bit crazy when I do my daily ROI chart. So 2 households into one. Yeah, it's just, you know, I'm just right now, my time is like halved. So I'm having a really hard time. You know, like one of the things is, you know, like you all know, if you're a homeowner or if you have a house, there's always stuff that needs to be repaired, but you kind of put it off because it's not really that emergency. You know, like I have no handrail going into my basement, but I don't need a handrail. I've been walking up and down these steps every day for the last 5 years. I'm not going to trip. You know, my cat has tripped me a couple of times, but if I sell my house or rent my house, it needs a railing there. So I've got to fix up a whole bunch of stuff before September. And that all costs money and time. So this is a new mine. I'm allowed to pan at 600 grams gold inside. Oh, there you go. That's a nice little pan. I can't afford none of those Paydirts. I watch your videos. And you got to see Aaron Mack. If you watched my last video, Motherload Prospecting, $50 bags of Paydirt, 55 with shipping, 110% ROI. Minus shipping, ROI was like 100, I think 100 exactly. I think the $50 bag with shipping, I think ends up with exactly like 100% guaranteed ROI. So can't beat that. You get your money back. So I need to send you a spreadsheet, everybody. Now, actually, speaking of my daily ROI charts, I am going to do, if you're a Patreon member, I'm probably going to do a poll to see, because I was thinking about it today. Right now, I do list all the Paydirts based on my personal beliefs on what the ROI should be. So for like anything over 1 gram, I think a seller should be, or a buyer should be looking for 90% ROIs. But I might just start putting every single seller and all the bags and all the Paydirts. It's going to be a much bigger sheet. I don't know if it'll all fit. I'll have to figure that out. But that way, you know, you can see the good from the bad. So that way, you know, because like right now, Clash isn't on the 1 gram list. You know, I don't have Clash in there because he does not meet the 80% criteria. I think he's right around 62%. But in the future, I just might put all Paydirts on there. And that way you can see how other sellers compete against each other and, you know, the big difference. Because, you know, when I do the daily ROI chart, if you see somebody's missing on there, you don't know, or, you know, like my minimum is 80%. So if you see a seller that's selling 82%, you might think, hey, maybe Clash is selling his at 79.9 and Dylan just didn't put him on there, but he's really close. This way you'll know. You can look and see like, oh, wow, Clash is only at, you know, and I hate to use Clash. He's just the only person I can think of that's not on the list. Prospector Golden Gems is another one that's not on the list. Brian Thomas Gold. I think none of his bigger bags are Paydirt or on the higher list because they're down to 88% now. But you might want to see too, because some people might want that experience. Like one of the pay dirts I've been wanting to repan, even though it's not a good ROI, is the Bering Sea pay dirt. But it doesn't make the list most of the times just because the ROI is right under the threshold. So this way you can still see and see, like if you say, well, I really want to pan out, Bering Sea gold, but it's not on the list, where is it at? So if I had everybody on the list, it'll just let you see everybody. So yeah, with gold getting so high, we need good ROIs. PN Wogger, I'm really disappointed with Gold Rush Paydirt. 0.12 grams for $100. Yeah, well, Gold Rush Paydirt isn't actually from the Gold Rush company, like the TV show. Gold Rush Paydirt, I will say, really, really smart person that when Gold Rush TV show came out, bought the domain name goldrushpaydirt.com because the people behind the Gold Rush show had to... I don't remember what their URL was, but it was like Paydirt something, or I forget what it was. But they had to sell it under a different name than Gold Rush Paydirt. But Gold Rush Paydirt is, it's crappy Paydirt. It's been crappy Paydirt since it came out. But because he has a domain and he can put that on the bags, he got picked up by a lot of like online stores for a while. I mean, it's not been doing as well for him because, but yeah, it's not very good Paydirt. I need to make sure and see if I put it on my Paydirts to avoid. I don't know if he's on there. I wonder if my Bering Sea gold box finally in the good for its value now. Yeah, it should be. Because when that came out, it was $75, I think. 80. What was it? It was $95 or something like that, or $100. Was it even $100 back then for a gram? But yeah, it's going up because her ROI, even then when she had the box, was I think 60%. I think it was like a 60% ROI because she keeps most of her pay dirts right around the 60 to 75% ROI. So yeah, I mean, I don't want to bring up Clash. It was just he was the only person I could think of that's like every week I look to see if he makes the list. Because some sellers, like I know, aren't going to make the list every week just because their pay dirts aren't good. But, like mostly Clash. But, because there's some that like Bering Sea Gold, her pay dirt's very close to making the list. Like Bering Sea Gold pay dirt, hers are always very close to making the list. Gold Bag, Brian Thomas Gold, a lot of times it's just based on spot because they don't update very often. So they might, like right now, like I said, both Brian Thomas Gold and Gold Bay didn't make my daily ROI chart for the bigger bags because they were at 89%. And I think they should be 90%. But I think I'm going to just start putting everybody on there just so everyone can look at all. I'll still make my recommendations and tell you who I think is the best or highlight the best ones. But yeah, I saw the Parker Gold in the vials. So he must have been able to branch out because I know originally when Gold Rush first came out and whatever the company was that was selling the pay dirts, which I still, by the way, if anyone comes across any of the official Gold Rush pay dirts, I am always a buyer for them as long as they're still sealed. I love them. They're my kryptonite and I buy them even though I know they're ripoffs. But yeah, they used to all be under contract and they all had to use their names. I guess they had been paid licensing to them or something like that. So, they were all on there and Parker had his bag. Parker's actually is the one I've been hunting for my shelf. It was a 5-pound bag in a wooden box. And I've been trying to find one of those wooden boxes for my shelf forever, but haven't found one yet. And they must have sold, but I like Tony Beats. I think, well, Tony Beats is the smartest person on the show, really. I mean, if you watch Gold Rush from the beginning, most of the people were just going on Tony Beats' land, getting the gold that Tony didn't want to go to because that was like either overworked ground or was ground that the gold wasn't as rich as he wants. I mean, like if you have different grades of ground, like if you have A, B, C, D, and E, and F, and they're all good ground, but you want to save A for your kids, but you'll let somebody else dig up F, spend all their money, and then give you 20% of it. I mean, you can't beat that, And especially since they, like with Tony, he would put minimums. Like he would tell you, oh, you got to give me, like $500,000 collateral. And then, so if you fail, I still get $500K. You know how many times he probably had people go there and their equipment breaks down or something else, not a non-TV show people, and dig everything up, then like fail. And then he says, okay, great. I'll spend 100,000 reclaiming the land, covering it back up. And I made 400K, Wrench, what's up, brother? Thank you very much for that, John. I appreciate that. Birdman in the chat. Alaskan Assassin, how's it going? The bags I bought from Dave were 100% ROI. I don't know which ones those are. No worries. No worries, Hogan. No worries. I'm sure it'll all be great. So, is Birdman Bill here? I didn't see him, but if he is, how is it going? Thank you for joining the show. Dan Hurd's Gold Paydirt. What about it? No. It's not good. And it's not even that it's not good. I will tell you, one thing that always will really chap my hide, PN Wogger. Oh, that's awesome. Let me know about that. Email me your results. Dylan, here, I'll post my email in chat. Email me your results. I'd be curious about that. When I thought about doing that test, but I'd already bought some Paydirt and had it shipped to Secret Shopper. Oh, the Mexican 5 gram bag and the 1 gram wire bags. Yeah, Gold Bay has really good ROIs most cases. So, but I talk about when I do my daily ROI chart for Patreon members, it's a guarantee. It's just what the guarantee is. I can't tell you what every bag is going to result. So, like if Gold Bay has right now he has a 1 gram bag listed for $175 plus $10.95 shipping, if I remember right. So right now, his 1 gram bag is being charged $185.95. And he's only guaranteeing 1 gram. So that gives him right around an 88% ROI. No, what is it? 86% ROI. So that's what I put down on my chart. Now, of course, some sellers you will find more gold with, some you won't, but it's not a guarantee. So I just put in my chart, everything like that. Dirt Hog. Yeah, I've been contemplating buying some gold hog, some dirt hog after I did see that video. I did watch that one. Oh my gosh, why do I never see Outfitter? How's it going? Thank you very much for the dono. I appreciate that so much. And Liz, how are you? Thank you for joining the show as always. Nightbot, thank you for being here as well. I do like wire gold, but I only like Wes, how's it going? Watful in the chat. I only like wire gold or specimen gold in Paydirt if I don't pay a premium for it. So, but all right, I have been chatting enough. Let's get to the flash in the pan Paydirt. Let's go pan this out, get some gold, see some gold, and see what we have. So, give me 1 second. We'll shrink down the ugly mug. There we go. As you can see, my sink is still dirty. I've been too busy to clean it, so. All right. Just more Tuesday night stuff. All right, let's move everything around. Everyone stay busy in chat. Let me open up chat again. I'm curious. Not all gold is equal, so I have read. Do you test kit it? The only time I test gold, so for a while, I mean, if you watch enough of my reviews, you'll see I change how I do reviews every once in a while. Not too often, but every once in a while I do. And one of the things I did do for a while is I started testing the carat for all gold when I was doing it just out of curiosity. All right, Outfitter. Just send me an email and I'll send it to you. I'm not gonna put it in chat. Just email me there, Outfitter, and I'll reply to it tonight. I'm gonna do emails tonight. But so I used to test gold or test what the carat was, just the general range. Like I would say it's test as 18 karat and stuff like that. But in all honesty, it really doesn't matter unless it's really, really low carat gold. If you get 16 karat, 18 karat, 21 karat gold from a bag of Paydirt, it doesn't matter. If you go to sell it to somebody like Clash, because Clash does buy gold, since I dissed him a little bit earlier, I'll give him a little promo here. Clash does buy gold. I buy gold. Gold Putz buys gold. Gold Nugget Sales buys gold. We're not going to test it. Anyone that's buying gold typically doesn't test it unless it's really ugly low carat gold. So if you send somebody, a gram of 18 karat gold, a gram of 20 karat gold, and a gram of 23 karat gold, all mixed together, they're not going to test it and give you 3 different prices. They're just going to give you one lump sum price based on all of it. So the only person that if you sell gold to, it matters what the carat is a refiner, because they're going to melt it down. They're not going to keep it as placer gold. No. I don't think Liz has only seen my studio once, so it's in a basement. So, I don't bring her down to the basement too often. So that is one of my biggest dilemmas when I talk about I've been spending a lot of time elsewhere. One of my biggest dilemmas is my new studio in her house. So we haven't figured out quite yet where and how to do a studio, because she has a extra room, but it is upstairs with no water. And I don't want to be hauling 5-gallon buckets of water up through a house and then have it sitting in there, and then having to haul down 5 gallons of really dirty water at the end of the show. So, so I do need to figure out that, I'm going to try to build the studio in the garage, but it's going to have to be a studio where one of the walls, it's a collapsible studio. So it's only got like 2 walls, one permanent wall and one moving wall, because it is a 2-car garage. But in case we need to put both cars in, I need to be able to make my studio smaller so that my car will fit in there. So yeah, or if it's magnetic. Yeah. So, like I said, that's what's keeping me busy, is stuff like that. But yeah, I got to figure out my studio. If anyone has any ideas, feel free to email me on how to make a moving wall, but it's only going to move forward and backwards. But it has to be sturdy. It has to be cheap. I can't be buying, $500 runners to run it on, like $500 floor and ceiling tracks to run the wall on. So I haven't figured it out yet, but it also has to be sturdy enough so I can put soundboard on it. So, because that's where that's where the camera and the microphone are going to be, on the moving wall. So if anyone has any ideas, feel free to share them to me. The huge ones are awesome. You should send them all to me. That's her glide. Send all the big nuggets to me, and I will tell you, I'll do like the I Am Zaxxon. I Am Zaxxon just gets a little gold. I get you all the big gold, so. And I'll look at it and tell you where it's from. It'll just be missing a little piece from testing, like half. All right. So here we go. The Paydirt. Couple little rocks in here. And a nice one. Polished rock. Now again, this bag is guaranteed 1.33 grams of gold, so should be chunky and easy. Cockatoo Birdman Bill, how's it going? Get a smaller car. I already have a very small car. You can't get much smaller than my car that I would drive. Yeah, I have a Toyota. So I have a Toyota car. It's not very big. But the garage is, I think the garage is 14 feet. And my car is like 9 feet or something like that. So it doesn't have to move much. It's only going to have to move like 2 feet. But I don't know. Hey, Fickle Prick, how's it going? Thank you for joining the show. Appreciate it, as always. And as always, I appreciate everyone that makes it to my live shows, even if it's just once or twice or every once in a while. I appreciate all of you, and I really do appreciate all my mods, all my Patreon members. And if by any chance, if you are a $79 tier Patreon member and you're not a mod, let me know. I tend to forget to make my $79 tier members mods, and that's one of the reasons why my mods are my mods is they're $79 tier members on Patreon. So I'll figure something out. Yeah. So probably in September, I'm not going to probably have any live shows in September just because of that. One, getting married, then like just having to build the studio and all that in September. I will have videos because I'm going to try to shoot all my September videos in August. So, bomb shelter. There you go. I was over at our house this weekend putting together a trampoline for her daughter. I should have started digging the, because no one would look underneath the trampoline for a bomb shelter studio. Sorry to hear you're sick. Hopefully it's not too bad. So, but I am going to, it is good though, because there's a couple, you know, it's one thing. This is going to be like my third real studio. I mean, I've had setups before where I shot stuff, but it was always pretty much like, you know, just on a table or something like that where it wasn't really built out. But this will be my third studio. So hopefully I can make it better, because my first studio I had lots of problems with. This one I like a lot better, because this one, again, has the shelving behind me and all that other stuff. And I like the setup, but it does have some things that drive me crazy a lot. One, it's not wide enough, so I tend to knock stuff off my shelf with my chair. And that's just because I built the laptop too far out. So I just got to change a couple things. And since it will be in a garage, I may actually swap out from doing a laptop to actually doing a hard drive. We'll have to see how that is. Thought about putting in a panning station in the closet. Well, that was right after I got divorced. When I did before I bought this house, after I got divorced, that's where my studio was. It was in a closet. Luckily, it was like a kind of like a small walk-in closet. So it was just big enough for like my panning table. And then I had a fold down. So it was a table with a hole cut in with the sink, or like I had a bucket. So I had a table with a bucket on it that I'd do the panning out, and I'd pull the panning thing out. And I had the overhead camera set up, and there's a chair behind me. And that was when I was using the green screen or just like the poster board behind me. Because I was crammed in there. It was like 5 feet wide. And I had like a 2-foot table and a 2-foot chair, and that was it. Or it was 4 feet wide. It was just very, very tight. I was so glad when I was out of there. Just stomach flu, all right, brother. I mean, that's not fun either, but... Double check our internet. We already know that. We were talking about our internet yesterday, because I was like, oh my gosh, it's so slow. Like, I already have made sure that she has fiber optic in the neighborhood so I can get good internet. So yeah, I already told her we're swapping out the internet real quick. So even if I didn't do live shows, I would swap it out, just because slow internet just drives me absolutely crazy. So at first I thought that was a big old piece of crystalline gold till I saw it was silver. So when are you gonna do another video with your kids? No time soon. Not at all. My kids are too old. They don't want to be in any videos with me anymore. But I will say, not this Monday. This Monday, I don't remember what this Monday's video is, but the following Saturday on the 27th or 28th or something like that, I do have a video coming out. It's a gem paydirt with kids, or with one child, I will say. So, just not my kids. But it will be a gem paydirt review. And if that one goes well and she enjoys shooting the video and being in the video, then I will do more. Because I do like gem paydirt reviews, because I think bringing kids into paydirt is a wonderful thing, but it's kind of an expensive hobby to have kids with a little bit of silver. Save that throw that in somebody's Patreon bag or something. So, but it's a lot more affordable if you buy your kids, a $30 gem bag paydirt than a $300 gold paydirt, More gold? Also a piece of silver. We'll get that out before. Well, maybe we'll leave it in there. But, and gem paydirt really hasn't risen in price. From the days my kids were doing paydirt, it's not, it hasn't gone up as much as gold paydirt. When I first started, you could get a 1 gram bag for like $60. Now it's like 3 times that. Where most gem paydirts, if you could get them 10 years ago for $50 or $70 now, they're not that much. Yeah. Well, in my, when I do gem paydirts, I don't even have ROI in there. It's just fun factor, It's just fun factor and things like that, because you do want to have like other things. Like, I think, what was it? I didn't have ROI. I had fun factor and I think value, where your perceived value, because I've bought some, like, one of my favorites to look for is, I always love sapphire paydirt. It's just my personal favorite. I love hunting for sapphires in gem paydirt, because it was kind of like gold. To me, that was gold, because you usually, if you do the ones where it's just like big rocks like this colored, you can usually find them within like 30 seconds. Your bag is done, you're finished. But with sapphires and material like this, you can spend 3 or 4 hours to find 30 sapphires. But there is differences. I've bought sapphire paydirt where you get like 2 or 3. They've been colored, they've been heat treated. Then there'll be ones where for the exact same price you'll find like 200 sapphires, and yeah, they're not heated or colored, but that to me is more value, Anyone do a muskeg mining? Which one's that? Here, now I gotta go look at that. I'm your silver freak. Okay, Kristen. I hope my daughter found a 0.5 nugget. Yeah, I said that in my last show. That's what I used to do for my kids when I would make paydirt for them to pan with me. I didn't just give them a bag of paydirt, because they would just, when kids pan, when they first start, they're like this, they're just throwing everything everywhere. And I didn't want to see all my gold flying everywhere. Birdman should be a mod. Is he? All right, I'll have to check when I get back on my laptop. Serial number. Hold on. Here, hold on. Type something in chat. Hold on. All right, I'll look up Birdman when we get back on my laptop. I'm gonna move over. But yeah, what I used to do is just take dirt that I already panned out previously, like a pan like this, and I would put a 1 gram nugget in there, and they would just pan until they found the nugget. They'd take the nugget out, drop the pan, and run off. Nowadays, you can't really do that as much because nuggets a bit too expensive. But because then they wanted the next time, they'd be like, oh yeah, I want another one, and have to go buy another 1 gram nugget. So it's cost me like $50 every time. But it's better than giving them a regular 1 gram bag and have them throw it all around. So Some more gold. Not super chunky in here. This would, to me, would be like a normal bag of Paydirt. So I haven't done a Herkimer Paydirt yet. I remember like right when people started putting them out, they were just pricing them way too high. I was like, you know, they would just think that the word diamond meant that it should have a lot more value than it does. So, hey, Jack, well, I appreciate you popping in. And thank you very much. All right, Gold Putts, thank you for popping in. Appreciate it. And thank you for the deal today as well. So, yeah. Yeah, I mean, Herkimer's are one of those things where you can find them sometimes cheap, sometimes they're expensive, but I just think the Paydirts themselves are usually really well overpriced, you know. But I think it just goes as the trends go, you know, where Herkimers were really popular. Like, I want to say, what was it, like 4 or 5 years ago? They became really, really popular. So people started putting them in Paydirts and jacking up the price just because they were in the news a lot, you know. How much has gold went up since you started panning? Well, when I first started panning, gold was about, and I know one of these days I'll have to start talking in ounces, but just because Paydirts are always based on the gram, I was talking grams, but it was right around $30 a gram was what gold was. So I think it was like $1,600 an ounce, something around there. But yeah, right when I first started, it was like $30 to $32 a gram, and then it went up, but it was never really that bad. Even when it went up slowly, it was just you know first year was like 30 to 32, second year was like 32 to 35, then it was 35 to 40, then 40 to 45, 45. But then once it hit 75, that something broke. Once it hit the $75 mark, it just was went, chip, we're going all the way up. Yeah, RJ's. I like RJ's. I don't promote RJ's too much. I think he has some good Paydirts. But unfortunately, he does chase bags, so I really try not to advertise too much for chase bags. Because in a lot of cases, they're not very good. Um, his current chase bag isn't a bad chase bag. His current one isn't bad, but he's had a couple bad chase bags on there where you're getting a 20-25% ROI in the hopes that you'll get a high ROI, and I just don't like that. I also don't like the fact when Paydirt sellers do chase bags because they are very, very easy to manipulate and cheat and give the winning bag to whoever you want to have it. There's just so many different things about it. So Charles King, how's it going? Thank you for popping in, brother. Just go to my website, millerprospecting.com. I just redid my top 10 today. So any of those top 10, you will get a good deal on. Oh, which reminds me, here, I need to write a note. I did not put... I did not put top motherlode prospecting in my top 10 because he was out of stock, but I'll have to see. My top 10 might change. Somebody might have to drop out of there. Yeah, Jason G. Yeah, I think once gold hit $75, it was just, because I think that was like a lot of people's breaking point, because like when it was $75 a gram, you could still, go buy a bag of Paydirt and go out for lunch or something and for $100. But now, it's so expensive. Like I was talking to Ed about it earlier today. Like I used to, when I looked at other sellers, I would always look and like, oh yeah, maybe I'll get a 3 gram bag or a 5 gram bag for these Tuesday shows. I don't even look anymore. It's 1 gram and that's it. And I have to, any gold I need for my Patreon, I have to buy wholesale or find somebody that wants to sell me some gold. When in the past I used to do is, for these Tuesday shows, for Patreon, for my giveaways and things like that, I probably go through, anywhere from 9 to 12 grams of gold every single month I need. And when I do reviews, I probably only find like 2 or 3 grams a month, which means I'm always short gold. Like I need gold every month, which is what I do these Tuesday shows for, is so I can find gold. So the gold I find tonight will be going in Patreon bags. And I used to say, okay, well, I'll just do a lot of 3 gram bags on these Tuesday shows. And if you look at my old thing, I used to do a lot of bigger bags, or I'd pan some off on the side sometimes. Like I might say, okay, I'll get a gram for me on, Thursday to pan out. But now I just can't, I don't even look at 3 grammers or 5 grammers anymore because it's just so expensive. It's just too crazy, When I go to look at like even GNS is 100% bag, 5 grams, like $818 plus shipping, $840. Like I remember when that bag was 300 something bucks, I'm sitting next to a half pound of gold. We have stock. All right, brother. I know. It was funny. I was going through my list today, and when I was scrolling through my list, just because you have such a weird, my daily ROI chart, you don't fit in because all your bags are based on 110% and not like how many grams they have. So you're at the very bottom of my daily ROI list. And since you're out of stock, that means you're going to my out of stock list, which is even further down. So when I was doing my top 10 today, I could not think of all the sellers. I had to keep looking at the list to figure it out. And since yours was on the very bottom, I totally missed yours. So I will definitely have to be redoing my top 10 once you're back in stock. So I feel bad for parents have to buy class rings. Yeah, class rings are such a big ripoff. Oh my gosh. Scott R, how's it going? Thank you for joining the show. Yeah, and labor has gone up. Yeah, everything has gone up except for people's pay. In the last 10 years, food has gone up, the cost of housing has gone up, electric bills has gone up, every single thing has gone up except for pay. So it used to be like, so let's say if you used to make $4,000 a month, and after all your bills, you had an extra $500 left over at the end of the month, you could say, hey, Paydirt $75 a bag. Even if Paydirt was $100 a bag, you could say I could go buy 2 bags of Paydirt, still have $300 to take the wife out and do this and do that, buy the kids some toys and all this stuff, even if it was 1 bag. But now, if you're still making $4,000 because you didn't probably get a raise, and you might be making $4,200 a year now, but with all your expenses stuff, now people only have $100 extra. They got to scrimp and save to get that $100, and that Paydirt's $160. So, hey, David, how's it going? Yeah, Gold Nugget Man, but he's out of stock. Gold Nugget Man has been out of stock for a while. He's having a hard time. It's just Gold Nugget Man is just a 2-person miner. They go out and metal detect to get all their gold and do a little bit of digging. So they have not had any gold. It's been winter time. Because when they opened, just like most sellers, when they opened, they had a certain stock of gold and they were replenishing it a little at a time. But they became way more popular quickly than I think they anticipated. So, if you have stock of, say, 50 bags of Paydirt. You plan on selling, 5 bags a month. You say, okay, we got 10 months of supply. We'll add to it a little bit. And they burn through all those in a month. So they're having a really hard time restocking. Buck and Ollie are absolutely awesome people, but their Paydirt's pretty easy to pan out. They're just not in stock. Don't worry about us during your honeymoon. No, I'm definitely not going to worry. No. I will say, I did make, when we planned our honeymoon, we're going to the mountains. I did tell her the cabin we're going to, we had several like different cabins in different areas around Pigeon Forge area and places like that. We looked at probably 30 different cabins to go for our honeymoon. The one I picked had a stream in the back. I said, when I start aggravating you on the honeymoon, just tell me to go pan. I'll go sit in the backyard and go do some panning. So, or when she's trying to get ready or get dressed and put on makeup and all that, I'm going to be in the backyard doing some panning. So, what's up, PA brother? How's it going? Shane, how's it going? Thank you for joining the show. No, unfortunately, 2-income families still have 2 times the bill, so no. I also lose a lot once I get married. I lose my really, really coochie insurance, so which is not good. I also lose my home equity on my taxes. For living in my house, I won't have to pay tax on it, but now I will. So there's you gain some stuff, you lose some stuff. Yeah. So I told her that was my one thing. Like she wanted certain things. She wanted a cabin that was, secluded, with a really nice cabin, not a real cabin, but a really nice one. She wanted a hot tub. I said, okay, but here's one that has all those things and it's got a river. That's the one we're going with. So. No bachelor pad, Paydirt. They found nothing under the boulder. Oh, big surprise. No gold anywhere. Yeah, Buck and Ollie are absolutely awesome. Buck and Ollie are absolutely awesome. Yeah, I used to, for the longest time, like every single nugget that we did for the gold nugget guessing, for my Patreon, all came from Buck and Ollie. Every one of them. I would buy one from them every single month. But then, unfortunately, as they got more and more popular, more and more people started buying their nuggets, and now they're pretty much out of stock of nuggets except for the really, really expensive ones, which I can't afford. So now I've had to take my nugget purchases elsewhere, which is still getting to be where I don't know. I was talking to somebody about it the other day. We might have to start doing like Jeff Williams does, where people start guessing the weight on bags of Paydirt or something, because with gold going up, I can't afford to be buying $300 nuggets every single month. I have to sell them, then I'm losing money. So, Ollie Skeeter, what's up, brother? Thank you for joining the show. Appreciate it. So, I know I was really debating. I'm still debating. I just don't know how upset I want to get my new wife on our honeymoon if I bring like my cameras, my tripods, and my laptop on our honeymoon and set up outside the stream, Rent a nugget, yeah. All right. I think we got it. So probably what I'll start doing is for like the gold guessing contest is I might do stuff like tonight where I'll say, you know, there's a bag of Paydirt. I'm panning it out. Guess on this, but I probably won't tell you what the guaranteed set amount is. It'll be a mystery bag. Like I know Vendetta used to do that. He used to do his mystery bags where you'd guess what Paydirt it was. I'll do something like that where I'll just have a mystery bag of Paydirt and pan it out and let everyone guess on how much gold's in it. I'll do weird bags too. So like I won't get a 1 gram bags. Everyone's gonna guess 1 gram. So I'll probably make up some, add a little bit extra gold. So it might be like a 1.5 gram bag or a 2.5 gram bag or something like that. Because I use the gold like this. Like this gold I use for Patreon. But if this was a 1.3 gram nugget, I can't really use it. I have to just sell it and lose money on it. So have you and your wife discussed? Oh, I'm going to be the cook. We already have that. I cook for Liz almost most nights of the week. So I either cook and bring her dinner or she comes over here and I cook. Tuesdays and Wednesdays are pretty much the only time I don't cook for her. Tuesdays because I'm doing my live show, and Wednesdays because we help out at kids' church, and they have dinner before they go, and I have dinner after I go. So, but there we go. So, but yeah, I'm gonna be doing most of the cooking. I mean, I'm sure every once in a while she does have some stuff she likes cooking, but most days I will be cooking. So. Yeah, so there you go. Flash in the pan Paydirt is guaranteed 1.33 grams. I'm guessing that's how much is in it. It did come with some bonus material too, some silver in it, some rocks. There we go. And now it's ugly mug time. All right. All right, there we go. Catch me in the AM. Hey, what's up, Curtis? Could you send me a tracking number? Too many thanks. Yeah, everybody send me tracking numbers too. I do most of my cooking. My wife's idea of cooking is, I will say, Liz does cook from scratch. She does cook from scratch. She just doesn't enjoy it. She doesn't, and I don't blame, like if I cook solo, like for me, if I'm home, like I tell her all the time, I usually have like ground chicken and mashed potatoes. That's what or I might make a soup or something like that, like ramen soup, and really basic ramen soup at that, if it's just me. But I do enjoy cooking if it's for others. So have you tried any Australian bags? Church of Dr. Phil, yes. Probably almost every year, I think a couple of years I've skipped. But if you look back through my videos, I usually do a month of Australian videos. So I've done probably most of the Australian Paydirts that are out there. But yeah, usually once a month for every year. I haven't done it this year, but last year I did an entire month of nothing but Australian Paydirts. The year before that I did a month of nothing but Australian Paydirts. So it's just really hard to get because most Australian Paydirt sellers will not ship to the United States. One year luckily I had a secret shopper in Australia. And the other thing is I have to use a secret shopper. So it gets to be very, very expensive. Most Australian Paydirts probably are only around 60% ROI, if that. I mean, sometimes they're even lower than that. So I'll have to, for a 1 gram bag out of Australia, it's probably like $250. I have to send it to a secret shopper or have my secret shopper order it. And then they have to charge me $20 to mail it to me. So now it's a $270 bag of Paydirt for 1 gram of gold. So. Gold nugget sales double black diamond depends on when you bought his. Here, hold on. Let me make y'all look at my ugly mug. Let me shrink down. Panning cam. But double black diamond, for a while, he was adding bigger gold, and it didn't have the same material in it, so it didn't have the tungsten in it. The Clash Impossible is pretty hard bag. I actually liked it and recommended it as being really hard. The Vogus was hard. You can go through my archives. I did the Vogus can on a live show. And Vogus was here telling me I was taking too long, complaining that I was taking way too long to pan out his very simple and easy Paydirt. But yeah. It was pretty bad. I mean, the Vogus was pretty bad, but it's mostly just because, any fine Paydirt is going to take time, and it's a lot of material. Like that little bitty jar you don't think holds a lot, but it does hold a lot. So what would you recommend for Australian Paydirt? Oh, I would have to look. Email me here. I could not think of who it is. There is one seller that I did recommend last time I did the reviews, and I really like them. Vogus is a good one. Vogus does have good ROIs. His shipping is just... I think for a 1 gram bag, I think his shipping right now is like 45 or 25 bucks. It's up there. But there's my email, Dylan at Miller Prospecting. It's in chat. Nightbot will post it in a second. Yeah, so just email me at Dylan at Miller Prospecting Church, and I will tell you, I'll look up and find the best two Australian sellers to buy from. The Krampus up there. I like the Krampus. The Krampus one is a tough one, but I could have made it tougher. I just wasn't trying to make it too horrible. I want my patrons to like me still after they're finished panning. But yeah, shipping is going to kill her on, which is probably why this year I didn't make plans to do an Australian month. And one of the problems too is with Australian sellers when they do have new ones, because essentially what happens is once an Australian seller opens, they tend to ship to the United States. And then you get one bad person saying, oh, I didn't get my package. And then they do a chargeback, and you've just spent, you sent them $160 worth of gold. You just paid $30 in shipping to ship it to them. And now they're saying they didn't get it, and you just lost $200. And you're only making $15, $20 on each bag of Paydirt. They just ate 10 bags worth of profit, so they stopped selling. Life, what was it? Life is Gold. For a while was a really good Australian Paydirt seller, and they stopped selling outside of Australia. There's a few of them. A lot of them. DT Gold used to be a good seller out of Australia, and then they stopped shipping out of the United States, and they ended up closing. I think Life W Gold is out, stopped selling as well. There's just not a lot of money in selling Paydirt, and most of the Australian Paydirt sellers are actual real miners. And when you realize, hey, look, if I spend 2 hours packaging Paydirt, selling Paydirt, that's 2 hours I could be out in the dirt making $500, or I could sell this Paydirt and make 40. There are a few though. There are a few, and I will recommend some. So, I mean, it'll probably be Vogus, the old moldy, will probably be the best one. But there's another one I can't remember their name right off the top of my head. I'll have to look it up though. The Krampus was difficult. Yeah, when I planned on the Krampus, I originally was going to have it because it had the black sands, the red sands, and I was going to put in some tungsten in it as well, but I was like, everybody uses tungsten, so I'm like, I don't want to, so. I know, it would be nice. Can you imagine that some guy just out there digging for gold the whole day, just sweating, and you just made a fortune selling him a $4 shovel that you paid 10 cents for, And yeah, that's Pioneer probably is the one that dives for a nugget every single time he touches his head underneath the water. He finds the biggest nugget he's ever found. No, Vogus is pretty dry. He doesn't have a ton of water around him. Yeah, well, the Krampus should be brutal. That was the thing. I wanted to do a hard Paydirt, but I also wanted it to be pannable. Like I said, I wanted it to be pannable. Like I want my Patreon members to like me. No. But all right. I know what we've been forgetting to do is putting up the here. I will put up the hidden link. Here, I'll pin it. I've been forgetting to tell everyone about the hidden link, so I apologize. But if you go to the very top of chat, I have just pinned the hidden comment. Make sure you go click that link. Leave a comment on that video. It will be called the hidden video. Leave a comment on that, and I will be pulling one name out of there. And as always, YouTube and its affiliates have nothing to do with this. This is 100% by me, just to give back to everyone who's hanging out with me during the show. We'll pull one name out of all the people who enter, and then they will win a prize off my Wheel of Treasures. The only rule I have is that you must post "I am here" if I pull your name in live chat, so I know you're actually here and you left the comment and not some bot or AI or anything else, or you didn't leave a comment and run away. And then I'll send it to you. You email me your address and I'll send you the prize. So I'm going to return the Krampus sand. Oh, well, if you just want hard Paydirt, there's a lot of sellers that sell hard Paydirt. Clash is no longer in stock with his gold, with his Gold Impossible. But I would suggest Gold Baron. GoldBaronPaydirt.com. He has a bag of Paydirt. It's probably the hardest bag of all the Paydirts, just because it's so much material. I think it's like 2 or 3 pounds now. I think it's 2 pounds, but he probably has the hardest one. It's all flour gold. It'll have nothing but black sands in it and tungsten. He makes sure the black sands isn't magnetic, so you can't check it. So, no, I'm here. No, but they have some. I wouldn't order from Australia because, one, you're not guaranteed that it's going to be fine gold if you order from Australia. They want you to find the gold. That's the whole thing. Is when Paydirt sellers sell Paydirt, in most cases, they want you to find the gold so you don't complain. I didn't find the gold. You know, it's been the dilemma of Paydirt sellers forever when they want to add a fine gold and make it look realistic, is that then the people don't find the fine gold. You know. Yeah, I would just order, like I said, GoldBaronPaydirt.com. He's in my top. I think he's my number 3 Paydirt on MillerProspecting.com. I would buy from him. He's got a really hard bag of Paydirt. You'll know which one it is, called Iron Death. If the name doesn't explain it, it's pretty hard Paydirt. I did a review on it, and it was pretty hard. He won my hardest Paydirt champion of the year last year as the hardest Paydirt. So, Bierman, how's it going? Yeah, Curtis, that's another one. There you go, Curtis. And hey, Curtis, how's it going? I know you've probably been here and I have not said hi to you, but thank you very much, Curtis. Yeah, you can reach out one of the YouTube channels, Nine Finger Mining. You can email him through his thing, and he sells Paydirt that's really hard. So yeah, that's it. Oh, you're in Australia. All right, Church. Yeah, well, that's the problem is, a lot of sellers, it's hard. I mean, because it sucks. Like, when I had my secret shopper in Australia, he rounded up a whole bunch of Paydirts for me that were that didn't ship. Like, they did not ship to the United States. So one year I had him pick out all those Paydirts. He put them all in a big box. He shipped it to me. And in receipt, I got a whole bunch of Paydirts and shipped it to him. And my Paydirts to him all got seized. I mean, every one of them got seized. The Australian government seized them all, destroyed them, and, So it was pretty bad. I mean, I paid him for his Paydirts that he sent me. He gave me a couple, and then I paid for the ones going to him. So it was just, so much money was lost on that one. It was just crazy. But yeah, if you're in Australia, just email me, and I'll tell you the best one. That's it. We're in the wild. Yeah, that's probably just bang for buck. Like, I did my Paydirt championship battle last year, and Gold Baron's Iron Death won it. I just did a video with Clash's Paydirt, his Clash Impossible, and I really liked Clash's Impossible bag. I would have put it second place against Gold Baron, just because Gold Baron's was a lot more material. Like Clash is like a little 1 ounce bag of Paydirt, and his is a 2 pound bag of Paydirt. So, you got to fight through 2 pounds. It's a lot harder. So. That's it. That's the other seller, Whiskey Lover. That's the one I was trying to think of. Dirtbag. Dirtbag is the seller I really enjoyed when I did last year's 1 year Australian month, was Dirtbag. He had some really good Paydirts. And I'm pretty sure none of them were guaranteed either, but they all came out with really good. So, what's up, Mike? Gold Nugget Sales in the house. I have not checked out your new video. I need to watch it as soon as this show's over, so I can see how to enter in a contest that I am not going to win. But all right, let me go. No worries. And like I said, you can just email me and I'll help you out and look and see what I can find, anything else in my streams and my catalog. So No worries, Mr. Hogan. Tell the wife I appreciate y'all sending it to me and her hard work with all the stuff she does. So, but all right, let me see. Let me get the link. Make sure all the comments are going through. We're going to do a giveaway, and I'm going to get out of here because my son's going to be here in a minute. Held. All right, all the comments went through. So there we go. There we go. Miller prospecting. There we go. Oh, is it guess the weight one? Oh, I suck at those, man. Feel free to text me, Mike. If you just want to randomly text me a couple numbers, Mike, I will not complain. Go buy Gold Nugget sales. Go buy Gold Nugget sales. Yes. Lord Shadow, what's up, brother? Yeah, share it. And then if you email me, because I know it's going on. I watched your video the other day, and I know it's going on for 30 days or something like that on the website. Feel free, Lord Shadow, email me to remind me, and I will put it up on my. I will have Nightbot spam it every time we do a Tuesday Night Live show to remind people about it. So, yeah, I'm always happy to help people out doing a good cause. So. I do like you're running it through a third-party website, too. That's always good. Oh, Mike, I'm going to charge you. I'm going to charge you. Wait till you get my bill, Mike. I like Gold Nugget sales except for tax and shipping. It just depends on where you're at with the tax and shipping. Like, it drives me crazy. I went on eBay. I've been trying to find some things for my kids' collection, gold and silver and things like that. And I get so aggravated. I'll find, like, I was looking for some, what were they? 2021, the Morgans, the 2021 Morgans they redid from New Orleans. And I was trying to look for some that slabbed, 70s. And every time I'd look at one that was a good price, it'd have a tax on it. And it's like, I'm not paying $20 in tax, And then you'd have to find somebody. So you have to like really look, like there'd be one seller who wanted like 150 for it, but had $20 tax. Another one wanted 160, but no tax. So it's actually a better deal. The tax is just crazy. Yeah, same state. Yeah, it's the same thing if I order a bear prospecting or a couple like what's the other one? Prospecting gear, Paydirt, they tax me, so I don't buy from them. So Weekender Junior. Now that reminds me, I was supposed to do the numbers and figure out a weekender. Yeah, I'm writing it down. I was supposed to figure out numbers to try and make a winch mining bag for my future Patreon members. Is there really, Bradley? Email me that. I would love. I mean, I don't want to see it, but I have to believe it. I like Kenai Gold. Yeah, Kenai used to have some good Paydirt. I won't say it's not good Paydirt anymore. I haven't bought any in years and years and years. But once he added his weird little shipping, I stopped buying his Paydirt. He raised his prices. He's kind of got that. So I don't know if anyone knows this, but there's a thing called an FU quote. Like if you call a plumber and they come to your house and you ask them all this stuff, they'll give you an outrageous quote, and it's called a FU quote. They don't really want to do the job, but if you're willing to pay them an exorbitant amount of money, they'll come do it. They just don't want to do it. So then you're like, wow, why would they charge so much? You get another quote, and you're like, why is this one so much lower? It's because the first one didn't want to do the job. Well, Kenai kind of did that, where his Paydirt, it might have been $100. Just one day he jumped it up to like $150. He added in like $30 shipping. And I was like, what happened? And I think it was just like, he didn't really want to do it, but he was going to leave up. He owned the website. So why not leave it up there? So. Oh, what's up, brother? You're back already, Morgan? So, but yeah, so last time, remember, top pinned comment at the very top. Go leave a comment. We're going to get rid of the panning cam here. Go leave a comment. We're going to pull a name in 4 minutes. So you have 4 minutes to go leave a comment. Or I should say at 7:30, not 4 minutes. So at 7:30, I'm going to go pull a comment. 7:30 my time. We're going to pull a comment and see who wins. And then when they declare they're here, we will see what they win on the Wheel of Treasures. So, and right now, let's just go. Well, that's what we can do for right now. We'll shrink down the ugly mug, and we'll go and look at all the prizes on the wheel. So, there we go. And in the meantime, we'll look at the best website on the internet. The only one that might be a little bit better would be Gold Nugget Sales or goldnuggetsforsale.com. Or vendettaprospecting.com. And since I panned it out today, Flash in the Pan Paydirt. And you know what they all have in common? They're all on my top 10 list right here. Top 10 recommended sellers. Gold Nugget Sales, Vendetta Prospecting, Gold Baron Paydirt, Northern Nevada Gold, Flash in the Pan Paydirt, Gold Bay, Brian Thomas Gold, Gold Putts just made the list today. Lucky Strike Paydirt just made the list today. Bobby Nugget just made the list today. Bobby Nugget will probably be replaced with Motherlode Gold. Or Motherlode Paydirt or Motherlode Prospecting once he gets Paydirt back in stock. So, and again, last 100 reviews I did, and speaking of Motherlode Prospecting, 118.66% ROI. And let me see. I needed to look to see if Gold Rush Paydirt was on my list of sellers to avoid. And he is, yes. So somebody said that they shouldn't buy from Gold Rush Paydirt. It is on my list of sellers to avoid. Here we go, Gold Rush Paydirt. I don't know if you can see that. Is my face blocking that? Nope, my face isn't blocking that. But yeah, so it's on my list. If you ever see a Paydirt and you don't know anything about them and you can't find a review about them, just come to my list, sellers to avoid. I've done all the hard work for you. I will tell you which ones are not good if I can. I'm not saying none of these haven't become good. I don't keep up with them. But usually if they make that list, they're not very good Paydirt. So the last couple of reviews I did, make sure you go check them out. The Switchback Sluice, I think that's what's coming out this Monday, is the brand new Switchback Sluice video. I have a second one I'm doing on it. But for right now let's go see the Wheel of Prizes. So these are all the prizes you can win tonight just by leaving a comment. We have a bag of Paydirt from Anderson Coins. Have a slobber bag of Paydirt from Vogus. That was donated by Those Left Behind. A 1 grain gold bar. Miller Prospecting gold-plated dimes. Random silver quarters, random silver Kennedys, random silver dimes, Franklin Mint car bars. They weigh about 1.5 to 1.6 grams. They're all a little bit different. A 1 gram random silver bar might be, or just a random art bar, it might be Valcambi. A 0.14 gram bag of Paydirt from TLB, Those Left Behind. Mini keychain Paydirt from Lucky Lodi. Ore sample. Natural Kazakhstan copper, random gold back from Alan Curie, a random silver certificate, a PCGS presidential dollar, mini gold skull keychain, mini Miller prospecting keychain, some weird copper thing that Mike over at Whatnot. I bought on Whatnot one night when I was driving my car and just tapping away, and I paid way too much for it. I want to be gone with it, so I don't keep reminding myself. And then lastly, a couple of copper rounds and sticker packs. So if you win those, you will get both the copper round and the sticker pack. So, all right, now we're just waiting on the person to do the random comment picker. So there we go. We're just waiting. We're waiting. We're going to. Do I have the link? Did I get the link? I don't know. Here, let's get me. Let me see. Do I get the link or not? Let me try to copy and paste it in here. I did. I do have the link. So, all right. Let me catch up on comments really quick. Then we're going to pull a name. I'm the sucker for not looking at your seller line. That's all right. I don't look at it too often either. I have 40 pounds of golden Paydirt. Yeah. Yeah, HD. I'm pretty sure because it happened right after he opened the pawn shop. So I figured that's what it was. But I figured once he opened the pawn shop and got established, he would go back, but he's just kind of left it the way it is. So, yeah, he's not sold out. He just turned off orders while they catch up and stuff like that. But all right, let's see who won. Let's fetch the prize. Good luck to everyone, and thank you for joining. And as always, once I pull your name, you must post something in the live chat saying you're here, or Miller Prospecting has the best website and he's the best Paydirt reviewer, and you can't wait to go support him on Patreon. So here we go. Make sure you say something, and then we'll pull the wheel of treasures and see what you won. So there we go. 61 comments. Michael Reed, y'all just won. Didn't you just win? Didn't Kristen just win? Doubling up. But there we go. Michael Reed, everyone have good luck, and you've got it. You know, y'all are just on a winning tear. So, well, Michael, Kristen said it when Kristen said she wanted that silver. So whatever you win, Michael, I will throw those little pieces of silver in tonight for your wife. So, but you have to post something in the live chat, Michael. Until then, let's just all go and just look at how beautiful the Miller Prospecting website is and all those wonderful thumbnails. Oh, I love this one. The couch troll, whatever Pioneer Polly called me because I called him out for his fake $1 million bucket or whatever it was. All right. Let's go. Let's wait for Michael. Shane Bauer, how's it going? Thank you for joining the show. Appreciate it. Joey Brown, thank you for joining the show. Appreciate it. Michael Reed, I see him. All right. So, Michael, let's see what your prize is. I'm just reading up on chat. But, all right, let's see what you win. There we go. Let's shuffle up the prizes. And there we go. Oh, Perry the Platypus spinning around. Let's get him some good luck. Mini keychain Paydirt. Well, there you go. Some German Paydirt. Let me see if I have one over here. I'll show you what it is. I mean, this is a tiny little Paydirt. I have one on my keychain. Yeah, this is from Lucky Lodi. Yeah, let me see camera so I can make sure you can see it. Oh, well, here, let me blow up my ugly mug. Let me do this. Let me see. Let me see. Let me see. There we go. But yeah, see, this is it. A little bitty Paydirt. Does have gold in it. I think it's only, he told me it's like 2 or 3 little pieces of gold. It's kind of like the old Felix Paydirt, but it's a little keychain of Paydirt. So, Lucky Lodi's always comes out with the coolest stuff. You know, he's got the advent calendar. There we go. So I'll send that off to you, and I'll send a little bit of silver in the envelope as well. So, I'll have to figure out how to put the silver in the envelope so it doesn't get broken all up, but we'll figure it out. Well, there we go. You won that one. Easy peasy. Nice little keychain. That way, if you're ever on the side of the road and you're lost and hungry, you can pan it out on the side of the road. Next, you just got to win the little keychain pan. So you can pan it out in your little bitty pan, and in an emergency, get you like 2 or 3 pieces of gold, go to the pawn shop, get a meal. Why are you thanking me, Kristen? You didn't win it. Michael won it. Now, if he gives you the silver... No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, I'll send that out to you. That'll go out in tomorrow's mail. So... And it's even funny, like, you know, I write my notes all day long. I even have the note on there, Kristen, in case something, you know, I had to ship you something, I was going to earmark the silver for you. So I guess me writing it, you saying you wanted it, did it all. So, yeah. Oh, I have a whole bunch of little pans behind me. You know, I have a little Miller Prospecting pan right here. My favorite pan is, which I just knocked that one down. Where's it at? Is this one, the Little Creek pan. These things are really cool. Can't really see what's in it. You probably can't see what it is. It says Little Creek Mining, Nome, Alaska, Gold Rush, 1898. Little pans. There was another little pan somewhere around here. I don't know what I did with it. No. But that Nome one is a pretty expensive one. I've been trying to buy another one. I wanted a matching one, but I'm not paying like $40 for it. So please get yourself a pack of crackers. Yeah, that's right. What did I do to lose my blue check? You shouldn't have lost it, Blue Cockatoo Birdman Bill. Let me see. Here, give me 1 second. I will go look at this right now. Let me go see. Well, I'm about to head out, but I have a note on here. So, Cockatoo Birdman Bill, I'm gonna figure it out right now. Right after I get off the show, and I'm gonna leave my chat open so I can fix it if I need to fix something. Let me see if I can do it really quickly. Let's see what's changed. So. Now you have to go out and get them, buy them a keychain pan. Yeah. So these are really cool. And like I said, this is from Germany. So this is actually German Paydirt. So this is it's, I don't remember where he said he got the material from, but it is German material. He's a German Paydirt seller. Here, I've got a minute. So let me look. But Cockatoo, Birdman Bill, you should have never been blue. So I don't know if you were blue on somebody else's channel, but on my channel, you should have never been blue. So I wouldn't have made you blue. So I wouldn't have unmade you blue as well. So keep going and buy lotto tickets. Yeah, I bought some scratchers the other day and I had such horrible luck on them. I was like, dang it, $20. I am Zaxxon. What's up, brother? How's it going? So, but yeah, Birdman Bill, it's the only people that are blue check mark are my $79 tier Patreon members and a couple really, really old Patreon members that were been around with me forever. That when I needed mods, I was just like, well, I'll take my oldest Patreon members and I made them mods. And that was before my $79 tier. They have a really good song. What is it? About being blue. I'm so blue. You know. But I hear my son pulling up, so I'm getting ready to get out of here. But Cockatoo, Birdman, Bill, and everybody, as always, feel free to email me with any questions or anything you need to know about anything. No, just you. I am, not me. Because see, if my microphone's lit up, that means it's getting sound. So, but here, I got to get out of here, everyone. I really appreciate you. Mashed potatoes for Miss Reed for dinner. Thank you for bringing it. Thank you, Kristen. Thank you both for always being here. I appreciate it. Never gonna, but I'm gonna get out of here. I've got to go hang out with my son, open my door for him, help him load up all his stuff into the house. But I will be here next Tuesday. Monday I have a brand new video coming out, and then next Tuesday I have a brand new live show where we'll be panning out something which I don't know. But I've got to get out of here. Thanks everybody. Have an absolute blast of the night, and hopefully everyone finds some good gold until the next time we talk.